Namaste yogis, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana Joe, and today we're going to work on building strength as well as mobility in our arms. So what we'll need is our two blocks, your bolster. I recommend also having a strap and perhaps a blanket. If you don't have a blanket, that's okay. You may also just want a couple additional pillows or something for later in class. You'll see what we play with, and you can always modify with whatever you have lying around the house. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're actually gonna get started standing. Make sure that your strap is somewhere off onto the top side of your mat. And your blocks are also at the highest height at the top of your mat so you can access them in a little bit. But what we're gonna do is actually just start at the top of the mat, and I'm gonna face towards you just so you can see me. But to build a little bit of strength in the shoulders, we're going to hold our arms out in a couple different positions for extended amount of time. So in the yoga practice, you'll see we often are holding postures, our arms are held in different positions. So this is just a really good way to start to build strength in the shoulders as you progress and do more and more in your yoga practice. So bring your feet hip width distance apart. We're gonna ground down together to start. Close your eyes. Turn your palms face forward. And take a deep breath in through their nose. Side out the mouth, exhale. Let go of your day. Again, inhale through your nose. Collective sigh out the mouth, exhale. Seal the lips, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. So continue on breathing just like that. Inhale and exhale out through your nose. If it's uncomfortable for you for any reason to hold your eyelids closed, that's totally fine. You can keep them open. But if it's comfortable for you, it's a great way to quiet all of the external noise around you so you can start to tune in to your body, your breath, and how you're feeling in this very moment. So take inventory on what your energy level is, how you're feeling. Maybe you're fatigued. Maybe you're extra excited today. But give yourself a second here to just observe your body and the emotional state of where you're at in this very moment. Feeling grounded underneath you through your feet. Reach the crown of the head up toward the sky, and then slowly bring your palms together into your heart space for Anjali Mudra. Press your thumb into your heart back out into thumbs, slight tuck of your chin toward the fingertips. Eyes can stay closed. But just a moment here of gratitude for all that is seen and unseen. Taking a collective breath together as a community. Sigh it out with your exhale. Slowly release your arms and open your eyes. Awesome job, friends. Now reach your arms out to the side to a T. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your palms facing down and just create little circles toward the back. So your little baby circles toward the back. And you're just gonna do this a couple times, but imagine like you're pressing down into water each time. You're moving your hands through liquid. So you should feel a little bit of resistance here. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Feel your abdomen engage even as you stand. So it might not look too fancy here, but you're really engaging the full body. A couple more times circling toward the back. Now switch it out in 3, 2, and 1. Bring the circle forward. So rather than drawing your fingers in a clockwise way, you're now going counterclockwise. Shoulders might start to burn. That's good. We're building some strength here. It's kind of the point for today. So notice where you are in this moment. And you always can take rest if you need, but try to find that edge. You're here for 3, just 2, and 1. Now turn the palms up toward the sky. If you need to drop the arms, all good. Just come up right back up and meet us. You're just gonna pulse your arms to the sky. You're here for 10, 9, pulse for 8, Abs are tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Palms face down, pulse it down. For 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Nice work, guys. Just shake it out. We're going to do one more thing here. So you're going to bring your arms out to a cactus. Palms are facing forward. Reach the arms up toward the sky as you breathe in. Get long through the side body and exhale. Bend the elbows. Draw your shoulders away from your ears like you're doing a pull-up. You should feel a lot of tension in the biceps and the arms. Lift the chest, and then inhale, lift. Exhale, pull. Going a little quicker, building strength again here in the arms. You should feel a nice burn. It's a good sign. Just 10, 9, 8. A little bend in the knees, friends. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really pull down on that pull-up bar, holding here. Can you pull the shoulder blades away from the ears? Elbows point down toward the mat and let it go. Shake it out. Now grab for your strap. So a little bit of the opposite here. We're going to work on some mobility. You want the strap pretty long and wide. So if you have the loop still in it, that's fine. It's at this point in time, we're not going to be worried about it. So as long as you have a lot of length here in the strap, you're great. So as we move here, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me, but bend the knees a little bit. So whenever you're standing, you want to feel really rooted and grounded into your feet. As you have your strap, bring your arms wide, and you want the strap to be taut. So you don't want there to be any like loose flabbiness to it. You want it to be nice and straight and taut. From there, you're going to have the strap right in front of your hip points, and you're going to reach the arms up toward the sky. Once you're here, notice if the ribs in the back are flailing. Can you soften the front ribs in? Spin the inner thighs back and lengthen tailbone down toward the mat. Awesome. Feel really rooted in the feet. Drop the strap behind your back. Let the strap tap the back of your back or the top of your booty. And again, it's still taut, it's still strong. And then you're going to bring it right back up. So you should feel that there's certain areas as you move forward and back that are a little bit tight. I like to call these little like crunchy areas, right? It just feels like there's less life force or less energy in that space. So maybe pause in those areas for just a moment as you're moving through them to see if you can start to waken them up a little bit. So we're just going to do this a couple more times. Move at your own pace. And again, notice if you can keep your entire core firm and stable. So the only thing really moving is your arms. Last couple times. Awesome. Last one, wherever you are. And the easier this gets, you can bring your palms closer together. I know for me, I have such tight shoulders, so it never gets easier, and that's cool too. All right, so put the strap off to the side. And from here, you're just gonna make sure those blocks are at the highest height at the top of your mat. Come back to mountain pose with the palms facing forward. Gaze forward, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Release the arms down again by your side, mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Maybe gaze up, maybe palms kiss. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Slowly draw your hands to your hip points. Little bend in the knees, fold forward. Place your hands onto the blocks underneath your shoulders. So you should feel really supported by the blocks here. Most of the weight, though, is in your legs. Slight micro bend in the knees. Pull the crown of the head forward. This is a halfway lift. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Big breath in. And then exhale, drop your head down toward the mat. Bend the elbows. And again, if you have a little bit more space, feel free to drop the blocks down at a lower height. You have 3 layers, 3 levels of blocks. So feel free to maneuver or change the blocks as it feels good for your practice today. I'm going to keep mine at the second layer, but feel free to keep yours at the highest height. It's a good place to be. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Straighten out your arms. Little bend in the knees still. Notice here, sit bones drive back, crown of the head forward. I could almost have a little tea party on your back. And then exhale, forward, fold forward, drop the head down. Full breath in, smooth breath out. And then inhale, lengthen, pull the crown of the head forward. Listen here, friends. You're going to grab your blocks with your hands and then exhale, step your left foot back. Move your blocks back so they're directly underneath your shoulders and you are in a low lunge. In your low lunge, you want to create a nice 90-degree angle with your front leg. And your back leg is strong and straight. Drive your back heel back toward the back of the mat. Feel the rebound through the crown of the head. So the crown of the head, the top of the head is reaching forward. We're going to go into a little bit of a twist. So ground down into your left palm into that block. Bring your right hand onto your right hip for a moment. Notice if the booty's popping out to the side, you want to draw the hip down and back so that it's firming in toward your midline. And then from here, turn your chest toward the right. If this feels like enough, stay. If you're craving a little bit more, reach your right arm up to the sky. You can take this in layers. Again, maybe do this class a couple times and notice how it changes the more you do it. But wherever you are today, try to find length through the crown of the head. So you're having a long line of energy from your back heel through the top of your head. Big breath in. Listen here, friends. Exhale, bring your palm toward the back of the mat. Circle it down to the block and then reach it forward. You're just making big circles with the arms. Inhale and exhale. We're only going to do 3, 2. Last one, big circle, forward, up, and back, like you're swimming in water. Release right palm back down toward the block. Step forward, move those blocks forward so you have a little bit of space. Lengthen, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, drop your head, bend the elbows. Let the head dangle, just let it feel nice. Continue to breathe into the back body, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten your arms, halfway lift. Again, grab those blocks and you want to move them back as you step the right foot back this time. So opposite leg. Again, notice here you want the heel and the knee to be aligned and the knee to be tracking in line with the second and third toe. Back heel is pushing back. If this feels like too much, you can always drop down on your back knee. That's a really good modification to take. So just again, listen to your body and what it needs. So I'm going to do this side with the back knee down. You can feel free, of course, to keep the back leg lifted for this round, but bring your weight into your right hand and then reach your left hand onto your left hip. Turn your chest toward the left. This is a really good place to stay. Again, if you'd like to stay here, or reach left arm up toward the sky. And as you do so, when you start to twist, can you ground down into the right shin or the right foot, wherever you are, and feel the crown pull forward? Hand can stay on the hip if you'd like for this entire sequence. Otherwise, we're going to do a couple circles with the arms backstroke style. So reach fingertips toward the back of the mat, drag fingertips onto the earth, reach forward, and then reach up. That's 1. Second one, 2. Final one, 3. Reach all the way back up. And then we're going to stop with the arm toward the sky. If your back knee is rested, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee for your final breath, and release the palm down onto the mat. Gaze forward, inhale. Exhale, step forward. Again, move the blocks underneath your shoulders. They can be at the highest height or whatever height you need. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop your head. Shake it out. Full breath in through your nose and exhale out through your nose. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Listen here again, move the blocks back. Exhale, step the right foot back, drop the back knee down, and you're just gonna move your left knee in line with the right. Come back onto the heels just for a moment and shake it out. So whenever you're using the blocks, you want to use them as your support. You don't necessarily want to have all of your weight into the block, but using it as a balancing tool. So just remember that as you start to play with them a little bit more. All right, so what we're going to do next is have a bolster. And If you have two bolsters, you could do this two bolsters. But what I have done here is I put my blanket folded in quarters on top of the bolster. And the bolster is laying long ways parallel in the same direction as my mat. So nice and long. And from here, you have a couple of options. You can have both of the blanket stacked on it. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna do chaturanga push-ups with the bolster underneath our belly. And it's just gonna help us build the strength that we need in some of these other more advanced postures that we will eventually move into. So what we'll do is just stay on your hands and knees in tabletop position. You want your knees hip width distance apart, hands on either side of the bolster. So you're starting with your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. And what I want you to do from here, notice that you're nice and even. Walk your knees back about 2 to 3 inches. And that way your tailbone can drop down toward your heels and you feel your lower belly engage. Great. So that's the really nice sensation in the abs that you want to build here. Drop tailbone down, lift low belly. And then gaze forward toward the top of your bolster. You're going to draw your elbows toward the back of your mat and just try to tap your chest down onto the blanket, onto the bolster. You can even lay all the way down onto it and then press yourself back up. Great. We're going to do that 5 times together. So just lower down, tap the belly, and then press back up. If you need extra blankets underneath you to tap your chest on, that's totally fine. Adjust as you need. And over time, you can start to remove the blankets. It's a really nice way to build strength. You have 2 more wherever you are. Last one. Awesome job. Sit it back onto the heels. Just shake out your wrists for a moment. Whew. Awesome job, friends. So for those of you who've been doing the building core strength, we're going to do a similar pose today, which is the modified side plank. Move your bolster and your blanket out of the way. You might want it later for Shavasana, so you can keep that over there. Otherwise, come back into that tabletop position. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your hips are underneath your knees. Or sorry, your knees are underneath your hips. There we go. Extend your right leg back. So you want the toes grounded on the earth beneath you. Move your left toes out about 45 degrees. Pivot your back foot down so the knife edge of the back foot is really rooted, and reach your right arm up to the sky. We call this a modified side plank. And again, can you find a little bit of length through the top of your head? Press down firmly into your back foot and soften your front ribs down toward your belly button. That way you're really feeling everything engage in towards center. You can stay like this, or if you're really craving a little bit more, maybe top arm goes overhead. A little bit of an extra 2 is back leg lifts, creating a letter T with the body. You're here for 3. Take whatever you need, friends. Back foot can be down as well for 2. And 1, everyone, right arm high to the sky like a big wing. Exhale, release your palm down, come right back to tabletop. Nice work, guys. We're gonna switch it out to the other side. I'm gonna just turn around so you can see me. And again, left leg extends back. The toes are facing down onto the mat. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Pivot your right toe out about 45 degrees. I actually like to walk my hand maybe an inch or 2 underneath my face before I pivot onto my side and reach my left arm. So the back leg, friends. Lengthen the right side of your torso forward. Maybe gaze up toward your top hand if that feels okay on your neck. And take each of these layers as optional. So the more that you practice, the more strength you build, the more you can layer on. But every day is going to feel different, and that is okay. So listen to your body as we layer. Stay perfectly as you are like this, or top arm can reach overhead. Pinky tip down, thumb tip to the sky. Stay here, or maybe float your back leg off of the mat like you're karate kicking the back wall. Toes are flexing up toward your face. Wherever you are, find your final expression for 3, 2, And 1, release it down. Nice job. Left arm high. Inhale. And exhale, we'll meet right back into that tabletop position. Nice work, friends. I'm going to turn back around. Big toes together, sink down onto the heels, stack your palms, and let your head rest on the backs of your hands. Resting in child's pose here just for a moment. Full breath in through your nose. And exhale out your nose. Big breath in. And exhale. You're just going to slowly rise back up. Bring your hips to one side of your heels and swivel your legs out long in front of you. And this is where the blanket might come in handy again as you lay down on your back. I often like to fold up my blanket and place it underneath my head as a pillow. And for today, actually grab your bolster and just place it off into the side. We're going to use it in a moment for an extra nice shavasana. And then find yourself lying on your back with your head resting on that blanket. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. Knock your knees together to touch. And then reach your arms up to the sky like you're holding a block between your palms. And just cross your right arm in front of your left and give yourself a big hug. And as you give yourself a giant hug, can you feel your shoulder blades? And can you wiggle your fingers closer and closer in toward your center? Notice how this feels in the neck, in the shoulders. Can you relax any tension in your face? Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Smooth breath in through your nose. And exhale out your nose. Switch it out, other side. Reach the arms up toward the sky to start. This time you're going to cross your left arm in front. Reach around and give yourself a giant hug. Notice if your shoulders are coming up toward your ears. Can you relax your shoulders away from the ears and feel your back body expand? Breathe fully. Last 2 breaths. And then slowly release your giant hug, arms to the sky as you breathe in, and release the arms by the sides. Grab for that bolster that should be somewhere nearby. What you're going to do is you're going to slide it underneath your knees for your final resting pose. Bring your palms up to the sky. Namaste, yogis.